What's up, everybody? So I know it's been a while. Woo, child. It's been a while. But sometimes life is it just be lifing. But let's sit down, and gather around this memory lane tea. Now, if you guys have been keeping up with any of the Teen Mom news, which has been vast and a little bit dry, but it's okay. Over the last couple of months, you would know that Javi and Lauren have gotten back together and they go on a lot of vacations together, traveling the world. And they recently announced that they were pregnant with a baby girl because the blogs pretty much spoiled it first. So Lauren decides to, take her story into her own hands and bring everybody along for this content journey that they're doing together now. But, I just can't help but think about all the shit that Javi put her through. Every time they get posted on the blogs, it's the same comments about, I would never take him back after everything he did, everything he did. It's the cheating, the embarrassment, the humiliating incidences, everything. So I kind of want to go down a timeline of events because it's some things that I'm pretty sure you guys have actually forgot that Javier has done, or Jose, whatever his name is. Now, first, I actually want to congratulate the couple because bringing a kid into the world is always a great occasion, especially when you have boys and now you're adding a girl to the pack. So, Javi is very excited. And, a couple of years ago, Javi actually had inboxed me before he got my old Instagram page taken down and told me that, he made a lot of mistakes in his life, but he fought so hard to get Lauren back and he was not going to mess up anymore. So, congratulations to you guys, first and foremost. But you're still going to get this trip down memory lane. Javi and Lauren actually started dating in July of 2017. They had met at a mutual friend's wedding where Lauren had flew down from Maine to be in it, and her and Javi hit it off. They began dating in July and they broke up in September. So they were together for roughly 2 months, and it was a long distance relationship because Lauren's from Maine and he's from Delaware, and everybody knows that Javi can't keep it in his pants. So the real kicker with this is like 2 days after they broke up, he was already trying to romantically involve himself with Briana de Jesus and on national television. Like he actually agreed to film himself trying to court Briana on that season, that cringe season of Teen Mom 2. And Briana was resistant at first, but eventually gave in to Javi's charismatic ways, I guess. If you guys watched the season, you know how cringe it was, but I actually did think they were cute. Now, Javi has a formula when he dates girls is usually the same thing. They are long distance for whatever reason, because before that, he dated like two MTV stars that didn't stay anywhere near him. Then Lauren, that's all the way in Maine, and Briana now, that's all the way in Florida. So they're long distance. I'm guessing that he thinks that they're going to drop everything for him. And he plans these extravagant family vacations way prematurely. And hey, meet Lincoln. And hey, come to soccer practice. And hey, come to my house and meet my mom. He does all of this way prematurely. He's done it in every relationship I've seen since Kail because he wants this instant made family. And I just thought it was tacky to break up with the girl. And then like 2 days later, you're trying to get with Briana on national television. Imagine being Lauren at home watching that. Like, we just broke up and you are trying to court somebody on national television. The embarrassment, the humiliation, and just the heartbreak. Like, this was just the first thing that he did to Lauren. So, Briana and Javi hit the ground rolling with their relationship starting in October of 2017. And you guys saw it all play out on Teen Mom 2. I feel like Javi kind of love bombed her, and they were going on these family outings together. He was with the DeJesuses all the time, taking care of the kids. They went on vacations. They were at NBA games, and Javi just took her to do all the things that he wanted to do and that he wanted a partner to love too. They also had these very cringe matching t-shirts when it was time for Lincoln's birthday party in Delaware. This is the birthday party that Kail refused to let Teen Mom film because Javi was just ridiculous, okay? Why are y'all getting matching t-shirts for my son on his party? It ain't even about being bitter. It's just about Javi being ridiculous because all this was happening, in like 3 months. It was all like October, November, December with Javi just love bombing and hitting the ground rolling because I believe they were broken up in January of 2018. It didn't last long at all. So as we know, Javi had asked Briana to marry him, and he wanted her to move in with him, all the way in Delaware. And if she didn't want to move in immediately, he wanted her to at least dedicate moving in, during the summertime, and let's get a feel and see how it is. And Briana wasn't down for it, and it caused, eyebrows to be raised by everybody in her family. Like, what? It's only been 2 months. Like, what is he trying to prove? Everybody was also saying that he faked a deployment, telling Briana basically on camera that he was going to be deployed, and telling Kail and the kids, and that, he wants to make sure that Brianna's there for him at the airport, because when he came back the first time, Kail was partying with her friends and wouldn't go pick him up. It was just, just some typical Javi shit. And this is where he hurt, Lauren again. It was already speculations that when he was back in Delaware, he was messing around with Kail and flying Lauren from Maine to come and have sex and stuff like that, and just doing everything sneaky on the down low and having sex with all three of them at the same time. He actually told Briana when they were arguing one time on national television on camera that I have a girl right now who's saying she will move down to Delaware with me if you won't do it. And that's when Briana was like, what the hell? Bye, Javi. You can leave. You can leave. She's better than me, because, I would have probably set it off up in there. So when this whirlwind relationship failed to yield Javi any kids or a wife, he finally decided, it was time to let it go. And he hit the ground rolling, getting back with Kail, or at least trying to. They admitted in May that they had hooked up in March, right after the breakup with Briana. Like, Javi, woo. Javi had the hoes. I'm trying to tell you, like, they was fighting over this man. Like, it was 3 women fighting over this man. Like some high school shit. I never seen nothing like it. But when Kail said that, she really didn't want to get back with Javi, and they both didn't want it, and they knew it was never going to work again, Kail was just pretty much doing it to spite Briana. They decided, to go their separate ways and not spark any more rumors of them getting back together. And that's when he got back together with Lauren. You see how the three of these girls, they're just like, they keep intertwining each other. It's just disgusting. They're like, ugh. So we're talking about all of this happening like in 6 months, okay? So in May, Javi announced that Lauren was pregnant with their first child, Eli. Oh, okay. What's crazy to me is that Javi didn't waste any time, okay? He broke up with Briana in January and was hooking up with Kail and Lauren, which, pinned the 2 women against each other and has, sparked this hatred that they have for each other ever since then. It was just very messy on his part because he was messing around both of them in February and March. It just so happened that Lauren is the one that got pregnant. And this iconic Ice Ice baby photo shoot was allegedly the first time that Lincoln had ever met Lauren, and they just decided to do this cringy photo shoot. Everything just came out of nowhere in typical Javi fashion. But by all accounts, they seemed happy, and Lauren gave birth to baby Eli on November the 15th. So Javi now has this instant made family, the thing that he always wanted since his divorce from Kail in like 2016. So it seems like everything is going well between them two. They have this new baby. She officially moved from Maine to Delaware into his home to be with him. He's the owner of this gym where he works at and works out in. So he's getting all these clientele of people wanting to lose weight at this gym. I think at this time he was out of the military for a while, and he then decided to pop the question to Lauren because he was just so happy. So he asked her to marry him in her hometown of Maine, the same way he did with Kail. He took Kail back to Allentown, PA, and asked her, and everybody was talking about it in my comment section. It was a gag. So Javi and Lauren's engagement is covered on Teen Mom 2, with Kail's producer being messy and showing Kail a phone and saying, "Have you heard the news? Javi and Lauren are engaged." Where Kail is like, "Good luck. He's been cheating on you since you were pregnant." Now, everybody called Kail bitter when she said this. And I don't know how much Kail knew at this point. And I don't know if she was messing around with Javi herself, so she knew it. But I guess Delaware is small and people talk. And this, I don't know. Maybe this was some foreshadowing for what was to come. Because what was to come next was just plain out messy.
No, I don't. I'm trying to get someone out of my house. I'm trying to go to sleep. They won't leave.
What's the address? So you need the police to come help you with that?
3.
Okay. And what's the person's name?
That lives here is not going up.
Is it an apartment or a house?
No, I own this house.
Okay, and who is it, like an ex or something?
No, it's a sibling.
A sibling?
Yep.
Okay. And how is the sibling your brother? Sister?
Sister.
How old is she?
31.
Hold on one second. I got to answer another 911 call. Don't hang up.
Okay.
Are any weapons involved?
No.
Does anyone have access to any?
Just me as a homeowner.
What's your name?
Jose. Okay.
So the story goes as this. So Lauren and Javi had started being known for throwing these parties with members of their gym and the people who work there, I guess, to try to just build a sense of community within their new endeavor. So on this particular night of a party, they were drinking and carrying on, and Lauren got tired and she decided to go upstairs with Eli and go to sleep. When she did, all hell broke loose. So Javi was allegedly caught in the bathroom with someone who works out in the gym. Now, I got this information a while back, and, I didn't even report about it because I was like, nobody will believe it. My Instagram kept getting deleted. I was just tired of it. It was actually information that he had been messing around with this person, and they decided to get frisky, the balls on this man, to get frisky while Lauren went upstairs with their infant child. So I guess Lauren decided to come back down when she got the baby sleep and she got a little bit more stamina. I don't know. So she came back down asking people, have you seen Javi? People were like, I don't know where he is. She's checking all around. She decides to check the bathroom where she sees Javi butt-ass naked, allegedly, in the bathroom with this woman who was later identified. It was all over the blogs. It was huge that Lauren found this. Now, Lauren found these two in the bathroom and she flipped her shit. Rightfully so. And they were arguing and carrying on, and the party was over at that point. And the people who were at the party were so concerned that they decided to call Javi's sister. I think her name is Linda. And when she got there, she tried to diffuse the situation between Lauren and Javi. I'm guessing that almost everybody was gone at this point, besides some people that maybe just wanted to stay to keep an eye out on the whole situation and make sure it doesn't become a whole complete domestic violence situation. So the police were called. The party's over. Javi makes this 911 call saying his sister won't leave. So everybody came to check it out. And I guess when the police got there, Linda finally left. Now, in the midst of all this, Javi thought it was a bright idea to call Kail. Now, this is where the lines keep getting blurred between them two, and it's a slap in the face and disrespect to Lauren. Like, we just got in an, domestic squabble or disagreement. I just caught you cheating butt-ass naked in the downstairs bathroom. Why are you calling your ex-wife to tell her about our business and our situation and say that you might need her help? What do you need her help on, Javi?
Been unreal. You know what? I know pretty much the entire situation from start to finish because I was called to the scene of the crime and then I was later blamed as the problem. So I'm not going to get into all of the details. However, I will say that that was not a mess that I was planning to clean up. It wasn't my mess. It didn't involve me, but somehow I got involved in it. And, there's so many things I could say and there's a lot of directions I can go here. I think I don't even know where to go with this. I saw the apology that Javi wrote on Instagram, and I had actually encouraged him prior to that to make a statement because somebody leaked the story. It was not me. I didn't do it. And I actually was very upset that I was blamed for it because the night that everything happened, I was called 8 times in the middle of the night. So I'm thinking somebody died. And that was really upsetting. I couldn't sleep. I didn't know what to do. And then I was later blamed for it. But it's like, you You can't do that.
trusted me enough to like call 8 times
right
in the middle of the night.
But then also it's like there's a fine line. Like we also can't be doing that. Like a cop called me also, so it was like a cop and then Javi too. But it was like we can't blur those lines. Like those lines cannot be blurred. We are both doing our own thing, and I don't want to upset anyone you're in a relationship with. I don't want to upset anyone I'm in a relationship with. So like that was like, if no one died, like you can't do that. But I understand there was like liquor involved and like other things. But I was very upset because I was blamed for the leak. And then, I didn't want any parts of it, but I feel like everyone was tagging me in Javi's apology. And, I don't have much to say about it. I feel like we all make decisions, whether they're good or bad, and we all have to either reap the benefits or we have to deal with the consequences. And I feel like hopefully this was a learning curve for everybody. I hope this was a mistake that he made that he will learn from moving forward. But I don't want to say too many details because it's not my place anymore, but I do hope that my son, Lincoln, and I do, even though I don't really know Eli, I hope that they are still getting both of, I don't want to say both of their parents because I'm Lincoln's only mom, but I hope that the kids are taken care of and nothing is truly affecting them other than, they're trying to co-parent or getting back together. I don't know. So long story short, I have nothing to say. I never want to be involved in a mess like that again. And that's all.
Now, shortly after this, I'm guessing they tried to work it out. She did unfollow him and delete all of her pictures off of Instagram, but we all know that that doesn't mean anything. When he ain't on Instagram, he's still inside. Okay? So they were very quiet on social media and it was blowing over. People were getting used to seeing them back together again, even though people were calling her a dumbass every time we posted her on the blogs. But then that famous episode of Teen Mom aired when Kail Lowry decided to air him out about trying to have sex with her in a Wawa parking lot, and she had to beg him to go home to his girlfriend. So in the episode, Kail was definitely in her feelings because Javi didn't do something that she asked him to do. So this is what she said to the producer. Javi agreed to meet me halfway, Kail told the producer. But now because it's not convenient for you, you don't want to do it. You're going to treat me like that, Kail explained. Oh, really? Is that why you tried to fuck me Tuesday in a Wawa parking lot while your girlfriend's home with your son? He pulled into the Wawa parking lot when I was getting gas. He opened the door and was like, I want to fuck you, plain and simple. Then Kail went on to produce receipts, text message threads of her and Javi going back and forth, where Javi is asking her like where she is, and she's saying that, she's at the office or she just woke up, and he's asking, hey, well, can I slide? Like, what's up? What's up? Like, basically the most fuckboy responses when somebody is just trying to fucking leave. And it's just disgusting knowing what you've done in the past to this poor Lauren girl. Like, do you care about this woman at all? So in 2021, Lauren moves out of the house that she shares with Javi and gets her own spot with Eli, and they start doing 50-50 custody of the child. However, they never really start messing around or being together on the low at all. So co-parenting my ass. In fact, there was text messages leaked where Javi got into a sparrow with a deranged fan on Instagram saying that, he's at Lauren's house all the time and you're going to see his truck if you go by Lauren's house because they fucking and blah, blah, blah. Embarrassing the girl again because she already made it public that she wasn't messing with your ass no more because you humiliated her. So Lauren felt the need to come out and, make this big statement saying that, this is 100% false. Me and Javi are not together, but girl, y'all might as well have it. So this video is getting almost 20 minutes long and you would think that I was done or at least almost done.
Wrong.
Listen, this is crazy because I didn't name so many things, but I got so many more things to name. So in 2021, okay, Kail and Javi decided to go to the dealership together because Javi wanted to buy her old car. Why? I don't know. Now, this is fresh off the heels of Kail blasting him on Teen Mom 2, saying that he was trying to fuck her. So they're cool and they're at the dealership swapping cars and who else knows what they swapping. And this ignited Lauren to get on live and have a mental breakdown, probably rightfully so.
See us
break up our whole life. I mean, our whole relationship. And now that it's finally here, it's just like, where did those 3 years go? So it's like people can move on with their life and, you know, their relationship gets better and this and that. And then I'm just left here to pick up the fucking pieces for me and my kid who are stuck here with no family and no waiting for this to happen. It's just really fucking upsetting that two people can still be okay with causing people this much pain. It's really fucking upsetting. I have dealt with my fair share of betrayal and pain and all of that my whole life. But what I learned today, what I found out today from the kids, nonetheless, just makes me feel like the last 3 years they've just been waiting for this. It's just really fucking, and so I just have to look at this as a blessing. You know, the night I found out, along with the whole world, we were gonna go and put a deposit down on a house the very next day. Like, I'm thankful that I obviously found out, but this has been going on for 3 years, and I think there's a lot more that none of us know, and only two people know. I think there's a lot more truth to it.
So later that day, that Ashley comes out with the real story and says that Lauren found out about the car swap from Javi's son, Lincoln. When Lincoln casually mentioned to Lauren that Javi went to buy Kail's car, she flipped out, even though she and Javi aren't together and haven't been for some time. He had a white SUV, and he traded into the dealership in order to get the black Suburban Kail had recently traded into the dealership, the source said. Lauren feels like Javi driving a car that used to belong to his wife is a slap to her face. And it's funny that the white SUV that she and Javi both used to drive was also Kail's car originally, and Lauren used to drive it around and had no problem with it. So the Ashley ends her article by saying that it wasn't as juicy as what Lauren was trying to make it seem, but Lauren is dealing with a narcissistic asshole who keeps crossing the line with his ex-wife, who just aired him out on national television, and now you're going to a car dealership to swap cars with her. Like, he's just a habitual line crosser, and she probably was in her feelings and had a right to go live and express herself. And this fool had a nerve to come out with a statement and say, while I have tried to avoid a he said, she said situation by staying quiet, the accusations Lauren made against me this afternoon on Instagram are false. Javi tells In Touch, my only focus right now is creating healthy co-parenting relationships with both Lauren and Kail for the sake of my boys and bettering myself. But what he forgot to leave out is the fact that he's still playing house and having sex with Lauren and putting her all in her damn feelings. So she got a reason to be in him. So literally a couple of weeks after Cargate, Kail and Javi decided they want to go into business together, dealing with something with Lincoln and his football peers and offering scholarships to the people in the community. Obviously, Lauren was pissed off about this. Like, you just keep throwing your ex-wife in my face. So I don't think that her and Javi were in the best space at this time. So Javi called the police on her. So basically, Javi went over to Lauren's house and dropped Eli off and decided to let himself in. And Lauren stopped him at the door like, no, please don't come in. And that created some type of rift because, of course, Javi is a narcissist. So they get to tussling, literally get to tussling. He says that Lauren punched him multiple times in front of his son, snatched off his gold chain, etc., trying to get him out of the house. Lauren says that the incident happened, Javi left, but then Javi decided, like he got home and thought, you know what? I'm about to call the police on this bitch. Call the police. and got a PFA against her and wanted full custody of Eli at the time. Now, this is what pisses me off even more than anything. Like, why did you feel the need to get full custody? You know how much Lauren loves her son. You really was like, oh, I'm going to hurt her this way. Let me get full custody when it's not needed. You know what I'm saying? Then he jumped on live with Kail to drag her.
Getting beat, like you're beating somebody. It's like not a justification at all. And I'm not going to allow it to continue. I'm not going to allow this to be like, she is holier than me, she's better than me, because her hands are not clean. So I'm not going to allow this to continue.
Nah, I mean, she's got all these people fooled. I mean, if we really wanted to, we could, say more, but there's no need. I hope people see who she really is. I hope it's all just a front, and we're going to leave it at that. It's all a front. Oh, let me turn the volume down. I won't use any exact names because we got kids in the car. All a front. I mean, it is what it is. I heard your story. Exactly what you said is exactly what happened. And it's literally exactly what happened.
But it's weird because people will tell me that I have to own my shit 12 years later, 10 years later, 8 years later. I'm doing all the work, and then we have someone who is pretending to be perfect on Instagram, and nobody believes you. And that's partially our fault because we've been so messy that people don't trust it. So I get that part. But on the other hand, we have someone trying to be so perfect, and literally she's done more dirt than me. She's done more dirt than you, and pretending and collecting a paycheck off of our backs.
Facts. And if roles were reversed, she would have hung me out to dry in a second.
Well, so let's just talk about the PFA really quick too.
Yeah, let's do that. How she convinced me.
Because the PFA is funny because when there was allegations about me, people dragged.
All front. I mean,
people said that you deserved it. When she did it to you, Lauren gets kudos. Lauren gets kudos for putting her hands on you. That's, Javi deserved it. He had that coming, this, that, and the third. So it's okay for her to do it to you. So no, there's a lot of resentment on both sides, but that's not a justification for what she did to you.
Facts. And not only that, she convinced me to drop it, thinking, things have changed, this and that.
You can't sit here and call somebody a manipulator when I have physically seen the text messages. She constantly refers to me as Carl. She constantly tells Javi he's wrong. Everything is Javi's fault all the time. And I'm sorry, but no matter what cheating you did at some point in time, again, it's not a justification for what she's doing now. You don't get to say, you cheated on me for 5 years. At some point, you have to take accountability for staying with a man that cheated on you. People said that you cheated on you. Because, I don't know, look in the mirror and decide, what are you gonna do? What you're allowing is what's gonna continue. And I'm speaking from experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I was just about to say a good point. And then just wishing death on me, telling me to drive off a bridge.
Hold on. I physically saw with my own eyes text messages from Lauren to Javi, and she literally said to Javi, "Are you driving?" He said yes, and she said, "Good. Drop my kid off and drive yourself into a fucking bridge." And I have the proof of it because I took pictures of it for this sole reason. And I think Lauren, in my opinion, I think she is a troll account because she constantly refers to me as Carl. But the joke's on you, Lauren, and all the trolls because my initials are Carl. So it could be a joke about me looking like a dude, but those are my initials.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We'll go back in more detail when the time is right. But for right now, I hope people see who she really is, and we're gonna leave it at that. Take care of myself and whatever. Sorry, I didn't get a black eye, so they couldn't really do nothing. So it is what it is.
Video is getting way too long. I'm going to speed through the next things that happened. Pretty much, Javi and Lauren continue to argue. Lauren was upset at one point because Javi was going to go on a family trip with Kail. I don't know how he feels like going on a trip with your ex-wife is okay. However, he said that he didn't see the big deal and neither did Kail. And she's left over here, Lauren's left over here fuming. Video's getting way too long, but long story short, he appeared on another season of Teen Mom 2 talking about getting back together with Kail. And we look back up, him and Kail did a podcast episode together. And then all of a sudden, he started being mean to Kail. He started ignoring Kail, and people were like, oh, okay. He's back with Lauren. Lauren made him sell the gym. Lauren made him sell the house. In order for them to have a clean slate, Lauren made him give up everything that, he used as a cheating vice. And they always say that love conquers all, and I'm hoping that this is true. They're pregnant and engaged again. Congratulations. But I had to drag you, Javi, for the one time. I hope you have changed, but everything I just, named pissed me off, honestly. I got pissed off making this damn video. If you stay to the end right now, I am fuming. I hate cheaters and I hate narcissists. However, good luck, congratulations, and I'll see y'all in the next video.